What's happening, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Red Oak Outdoors. My name is Aaron, and it is a beautiful day down here in southern New Mexico. I'm cruising around in the old Adventure Wagon 3.0 and just coming out and visiting some of my old honey holes. I know the water levels at Caballo Lake are really low. They haven't really recovered as much as I hoped they would from the maintenance they did on the lake last year. So I'm just kind of cruising around, scoping out some of my old honey holes and seeing what's going to be worth fishing this spring, you know, once the fishing really starts to ramp up and pick up. And so far, some of the areas I've checked out today, not really worth it. But it got me thinking, what are the top 5 places that I would recommend that people come to fish down here in southern New Mexico in 2025? And so I figured I have a small list of areas that I think you should hit. You in particular should hit. If you can explore, or if you have that itch to kind of get out into the wilderness and kind of disconnect a little bit and just reconnect with nature, these are areas that you should definitely hit. And you know, you have a pretty good chance of catching a fish too. I would, some areas might be a little bit more difficult than others, but we'll get there. So the way I structured this list, we'll start at 5, work our way to 1, 5, but all of them, if you have the option to hit all of them, I would highly recommend all of them, right? We fish a lot of places. I've been filming content for years and posting it, whether on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. I don't have my TikTok anymore. I had no faith and I uninstalled it off of my phone and now it's gone forever. But, it is what it is. There's not much on there anyway. I only had it for a few months. But regardless, we'll just go ahead and get into the list. We're going to run through them. I'll give you guys kind of like my brief rundown, but I should have some footage from each of these places on my channel. So with that said, if you can't find them on my channel, I know Brandon Marshall from NM Fishing Studios, he's going to have some of this footage as well from these areas, as well as other fishing creators here in New Mexico. So these aren't like super obscure areas, but these are my top 5 areas, mainly Sierra and Grant County in particular. This is where better fishing is, and it's also close to me. So number 5, Lake Roberts. Right, if you love to drive, if you love the mountains and pine trees, and it is absolutely gorgeous. You can catch fish there. There's some really big bass. There's big trout in that lake. There's a lot of grass. It's tricky. If you have a water vessel, I would suggest bringing the kayak or a tube or something like that if it's a little bit warmer out, or a little John boat with an electric motor. They'll allow it on that lake. Other than that, no gas motors are allowed on that lake or the next lake that I'm going to suggest. But if you're in that Silver City area, Lake Roberts should be on your trip. It should be on your agenda to go check it out. It is such a beautiful lake. It's one of my favorites. If I'm in that area, I'm always down to go out there. Always 100% down. But with that said, it is kind of a tough place to fish. So, but we are going soon. We're going to go there soon. We're going to hook up with some friends over there who know how to fish it and hopefully get us onto some big bass. My mirror. Aha! Learning stuff. So, Lake Roberts. Go check out Lake Roberts. Number 4 on our list, Bill Evans. It's also in that Silver City area. It's about 30-40 minutes outside of Silver City, but it is a much better lake, in my opinion, for bass fishing, which that's normally what we do is bass fish. But you can catch crappie out there. There's catfish, really big bluegill. It is, once again, a beautiful drive getting out to the lake. You have an option to see some wildlife. There's always deer and turkeys and stuff out there. It is a really cool lake. The water is deep and it is crystal clear though. One of the clearest bodies of water that I've ever seen. No joke, with my bare naked eyes, I've been able to see like 30 feet down. Some of the biggest bass that I've ever seen in my life live in that lake. It blew my mind the first time I went out there. But once again, it is a tougher lake to fish, especially if you're confined to the bank. If you have a kayak or a small boat, electric motors only, if you can, you know, get out onto the water, you'll have better chances, I believe, of catching fish and kind of, you know, your experience is just going to be, it's a better fishing experience being out on the water versus being confined to the bank. But you can still catch some really nice fish off of the bank. So. Yes, 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 yes. Woo! Finally. Oh, yes. First fish in 3 days, and it's a nice one. Yeah, come bring the scale. Biggest fish I've caught out of there is like maybe 2 pounds, but that's still a good fish. Another caveat to that lake, the fish that I caught out of that lake, they fight 10 times harder than anywhere else. A 2-pound largemouth out of Bill Evans fights like a 5-pounder here at Elephant Butte. I said what I said. They fight way harder, but they are tougher to catch. With that said, number 3. I already mentioned it, but Elephant Butte. It's not my number 1. I love the lake. Don't get me wrong. I very rarely will get skunked out at Elephant Butte. But once again, I'm generally out on the water in the kayak or on a boat or something. If I'm confined to the bank, I might catch, you know, 1 fish, maybe 3. Depends on the day. Depends on where I'm at. I mean, it's not going to be a super productive day of fishing. But being out on the water, it has drastically increased the number of fish I've been able to catch. So I'm putting it at number 3. It can't be number 1 because if you don't have a kayak or if you don't have any way of getting out on the water, you know, I can't guarantee that you'll catch any fish. That's why it's lower on the list than, you know, number 1 and number 2. There we go. Hooked up. Decent sized fish. He's fighting good. Good head shakes. Oh, it's a big one. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. Giant smallmouth. Giant smallmouth. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. 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 Brandon! All right. Last look at this giant football. Whoo-wee. 4 pounds, 3 ounces. Let's go ahead and get her released. Here she goes, she's ready. Straight down. Elephant Butte is just one of those areas, like, you can pretty much throw anything and have an option to catch a fish, whether it's a white bass, walleye, freshwater drum, which we discovered are super tasty. There's walleye, catfish, there's all kinds of stuff out at Elephant Butte. But it's, you know, there's a lot of water, there's a lot of shore, but there's also a lot of competition for those fish as well. There's a lot of people who come out here to fish, but it is definitely worth the trip. If you've never been to Elephant Butte, you're wasting your time. You need to come out and check it out. Hit me up when you come and I'll show you some really good spots. Now, we're gonna get into the top 2. Now, these ones are very similar, but they're in different areas. So number 2 is going to be the Percha Dam State Park. Now, in my last episode where I caught those freshwater drum, there's a tree that's laying down in that river. Go fish that tree. That did not take very long, guys. Oh my gosh, what is this? Oh my gosh, guys, I am freaking out. Oh my gosh. 2 casts. And I caught this massive walleye. I'm freaking out right now. Look how big this thing is. This is the biggest walleye I've ever caught. There's my minnow. Right there in his mouth. Percha Dam State Park. That's all I'm going to say. Go find the tree. It's in the water somewhere. I'm not going to tell you exactly where. I'm not going to drop the coordinates or nothing. But, you know, go and explore that area. Find that tree. It's the only one that's in the water. And you're going to catch a fish. I can almost guarantee it. Bring some night crawlers. Bring some corn. A little piece of bread on a hook. Like, you can bring kids down there. Be a little bit patient. You'll catch something out of that tree. I mean, it's easy. It's so easy. Super, super easy. Okay, just leave some for me. Pick up your trash when you go, and, you know, we'll be good. My number one place to fish, the Rio Grande River. Now, right now, it's not very grand. This area in particular, it's probably like that deep. I'm not kidding. But when the river is low, if you explore along the river, you're going to find areas, whether it's in bends or near bends in the river, that are going to be deep. Finding those deep spots is going to be your key to catching fish. It's like a mystery box every time. If you're able to find a spot where it's a little bit deeper, there's a really good chance of catching a fish. What kind of fish? It's like a lottery. You know, you can catch white bass, walleye, just like everywhere else that I mentioned. But, you know, generally it's going to be like largemouth. Every now and again, the occasional smallmouth. But, you know, you can catch some really nice walleye, really nice catfish get isolated in these holes. You know, it's so nice. We're getting bit. Here we go. Got it. This is a good fish. He's digging. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Oh, this is a good fish. Pull and drag. Come on. We got all kinds of grass. This is a good fish. Come on. Come on. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh man. That's another 4. Oh my gosh. We caught ourselves a monster this morning. Oh my goodness. Not only that, but you get some of the best scenery. Some of my favorite areas. Like right now, the sun is going down. And I've kind of been waiting to share the scenery with you guys. But like, you get such a gorgeous view of the mountains. That right there, that view, that's the reason why it's my number 1 favorite spot. I'm a big view guy. I love just coming and exploring, and there is so much land out here to explore, so many fish to catch. I think I just saw a fish jump. Oh, we found a little pocket where there's some carp. You know, I've been sitting here for like half an hour and I didn't see anything until just now. There's a few carp over here. If there's carp, there might be a bass. I might have to check it out here in a little bit. But anyway, the Rio Grande River, in between Truth or Consequences and Caballo Lake. You're going to have to put in a little bit of legwork to find some of these holes. I can't just drop pins. I'm not willing to share all of my spots just because I know how some of you guys are. But it is definitely worth exploring. I will say you're going to want something with some ground clearance. If you're not willing to walk to each spot or hike along the river to find some of these different holes, I would highly recommend bringing like an SUV or a truck. You don't need 4-wheel drive because there's all kinds of roads and trails and stuff to explore. But, you know, something with a little bit more ground clearance because these roads aren't maintained at all. So, with that said, those are my top 5 favorite places to fish here in southern New Mexico. Guys, hopefully you can come out and visit any of these places. If you're in the area, let me know. If I can come fish with you, I'm more than happy to show you some places face to face if I'm available. If I'm not, get out here and explore. It's all public area, public access. I will say, if you're fishing the Rio Grande, Highway 187 between Caballo Lake and Truth or Consequences, There's gates all along the east side of the highway. If there's not a lock on that gate, it's public access. Follow the road all the way down to the river. You'll be all right. Get out and explore. But if you're still watching this video, let me know some other areas that you guys would like to see me and Brandon come and fish. You know, Navajo, Eagle's Nest, the San Juan, anywhere else. I mean, I'm down to fish. And Alto, I know I haven't hit Grindstone yet. Definitely want to hit Grindstone if it's open. I don't know if since the Ruidoso fires, if it's opened up again. I don't know, but we got to check it out. We have to do some more exploring, put some more miles on the old adventure wagon. So with that said, I'm gonna get home. It's getting cold out. Go eat some dinner, do some laundry, all that fun stuff. And I don't know how this video is going to do, but if you found this video or you're finding my channel for the first time and you're still watching this far in, thank you. I appreciate it. Stick around. We got some really great adventures coming up this year. So love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.